Good morning, everybody. Today we will start topic number 8. The name of this topic is respiration and circulation. So, first of all, the respiration topic will be completed, and then we'll go to the circulation. The respiration topic includes some introductory part. In last 11th standard, you have studied the respiration and energy transfer under the botany section. So, what is the relation of this life activity in concern with animals that will be studied under this respiration? Clear? Now, what is respiration? So, in introduction, we will summarize certain points such as each and every living organism needs energy. Living organism need energy. Do you know what is the source of this energy? This energy, how it is obtained by living organism? How it is obtained? Right? Actually, this energy and its source for each and every living organism is through one very specific process, and that process is respiration, or it occurs through respiration. So, in simple words, we will define what is meant by respiration. Clear? So, respiration is one of the biochemical process by which organic food is oxidized by chemical process. Or chemical energy, especially. Not actually process, but energy. So, conversion of this biochemical process or biochemical reactions into chemical reactions. This is the definition of respiration. Right? So, in short, all living organism needs energy. This energy has different sources for each and every living organism, and these sources are obtained through respiration process. Hence, this biochemical process, respiration is biochemical process in which actually organic food is oxidized into chemical energy. Right? Now, this chemical energy is produced in the form of ATP. Through cells. You know everywhere, the mitochondria produces or undergoes certain chemical process and the ATP is released. For that, you know very well, C6H12O6. It is one of the organic food, for example, glucose is oxidized to release water and carbon dioxide and total 38 ATP. This 38 ATP energy released inside the cell will not come out at once, because if this energy is released outside at once, the cell will blast. So this ATP is released step by step process. So write this step by step process, release of this ATP step by step process, after which this ATP is hydrolyzed into ADP and energy is released. This energy is then utilized for performing different processes, life activities of living organisms, right? So that is the specific introductory part of our topic, right? So I will summarize it into a very short in our language, Marathi. Students, आत्ताच आपण रेस्पिरेशन टॉपिकची इंट्रोडक्शन घेतली आणि त्या इंट्रोडक्शनमध्ये आपण असं पाहिलं की प्रत्येक लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझमला त्याच्या सर्व ॲक्टिव्हिटीज, लाईफ प्रोसेसेस घडवण्यासाठी एनर्जीची गरज असते. मग ही एनर्जी कुठून प्राप्त होते आणि तिचा सोर्स काय? तर त्यासाठी प्रत्येक लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझममध्ये रेस्पिरेशन नावाची प्रोसेस घडते आणि रेस्पिरेशन नावाच्या प्रोसेसमधून ही एनर्जी निर्माण होते. मग रेस्पिरेशनला आपण कसं डिफाईन करू शकतो? तर रेस्पिरेशन ही एक बायोकेमिकल प्रोसेस आहे आणि त्याच्यामध्ये ऑर्गॅनिक फूड हे ऑक्सिडाइज केलं जातं आणि एक केमिकल एनर्जी रिलीज होते. तर ती जी केमिकल एनर्जी रिलीज होते ती ATPच्या फॉर्ममध्ये रिलीज होते आणि ATPच्या फॉर्ममध्ये रिलीज झाल्यानंतर ती स्टेप बाय स्टेप रिलीज होते. ॲट वन्स ती रिलीज होऊ शकत नाही, कारण जर ती ॲट वन्स रिलीज झाली तर सेल ब्लास्ट होऊ शकते ड्यू टू हाय एनर्जी. मग ऑर्गॅनिक फूड जे आहे, फॉर एक्झाम्पल C6H12O6 म्हणजे आपण ग्लुकोज घेतला आणि त्याचं ऑक्सिडेशन केलं तर कार्बन डायऑक्साईड आणि वॉटर रिलीज होतो ॲज अ बाय प्रॉडक्ट आणि एनर्जी 38 ATP एनर्जी रिलीज होते. ही जी ATP रिलीज झालेली आहे तिला पुन्हा सेल हायड्रोलाइज करते, तिचं कन्व्हर्शन ADP मध्ये रिलीज करते, मधला केमिकल बॉन्ड ब्रेक होतो आणि एनर्जी बाहेर येते. ती एनर्जी मग प्रत्येक सेलला वापरता येते. बरोबर? असा हा आपण इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट पाहिला. आता ॲक्च्युली आपला पहिलं जे सब युनिट आहे 8.1, त्या 8.1 मध्ये आपल्याला जायचं आहे ऑर्गन्स ऑफ रेस्पिरेशन एक्सचेंज. ऑर्गन्स ऑफ respiration exchange, right? Organs of respiratory or respiration exchange. Now, one point is remaining in introduction, that for respiration, every living organism requires respiratory surface. Respiratory surface. Each and every living organism has this respiratory surface. And this respiratory surface has certain needs. Right? Which are the needs of this respiratory surface? The respiratory surface should be large. It should be large in size so that more and more gaseous exchange can occur. And that sufficient exchange is useful for living condition. Second need is it should be thin and highly vascular. So that gaseous exchange can easily occur. And third one is it should be moist. It should be moist. So remember these three needs, that means largeness of that respiratory surface brings about more and more quantity or amount of gaseous exchange. The thinness gives permeability, easy permeability for gaseous exchange, oxygen and CO2 majority. And it should be highly vascular. The best example, for example, gills, or for example, alveoli present in lungs. They are highly vascularized. They are provided with lots of blood capillaries. And due to such network of blood capillaries, that means highly vascularization, the easy gaseous exchange occurs. And the last need is it should be moist because gaseous exchange occur very fast due to moisture. And that's why these three needs are most important for respiratory surface in organs of respiratory exchange. Clear? Now we go to the gaseous exchange. Now we go to gaseous exchange in plants. Gaseous exchange in plants. First of all, now you are familiar with various life processes about plants, for example, respiration and energy transfer and so on, photosynthesis, etc. But how gaseous exchange takes place in plants, that will be studied under this topic as such. The flowering plants possess continuous air spaces through or in between leaf, for example, root, etc. Right? Now we'll take the example of leaf. This leaf possesses a very minute spores or slit known as stomata. If you draw a rough diagram of leaf, the surface of leaf if you enlarge a small area of leaf, it possesses stomata. This stomata is nothing but a paired like guard cells. Paired bean-shaped guard cells. So these are guard cells having central slit. Right? These guard cells, bean-shaped guard cells, has outer and inner membrane. Outer and inner membrane. The outer membrane is thin, whereas inner membrane is thick. Outer membrane is thin and inner membrane is thick. And these guard cells are surrounded by epidermal cells. Epidermal cells. Right? Through this slit-like opening, when these guard cells contract or guard cells close and open this slit, the gaseous exchange occurs. So that is one of the example of leaf in flowering plants in case of gaseous exchange in plants. Clear? So, student, remember, stomata is the best example of gaseous exchange in plants, especially in flowering plants. Now, what about woody and specifically the woody flowering plants? In woody flowering plants, especially on the stems or bark is present. Suppose that this is a stem having bark. This stem possesses very small pores. These small pores are known as lenticles. So this is another example. Of gaseous exchange in plants, especially in woody flowering plants. The lenticles, through lenticles, the gaseous exchange occurs. Clear? So, here we complete gaseous exchange in plants, studying two examples. One is stomata, another is lenticles. Okay? So, now we summarize again in very short in Marathi. Students, आज आपण 8.1 हे युनिट मधला छोटा पार्ट, अर्धा पार्ट पाहिला, तो म्हणजे गॅशियस एक्सचेंज इन प्लांट्स. आता ह्या गॅशियस एक्सचेंज इन प्लांट्स मध्ये आपल्याला दोन एक्झाम्पल्स स्टडी करायचे आहेत, एक स्टोमॅटा आणि दुसरं लेंटिकल. फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स मध्ये जे पार्ट्स आहेत, फॉर एक्झाम्पल लीफ, स्टेम, त्यांच्या सरफेस वरती छोट्या पोर्स असतात, त्यांचं नाव स्टोमॅटा आहे. स्लिट लाईक ओपनिंग्स आहेत त्या, आणि आतमध्ये कंटिन्युअस एअर स्पेस असते. त्या एअर स्पेसेसमध्ये ह्या स्लिट लाईक ओपनिंग मधून म्हणजे स्टोमॅटामधून गॅशियस एक्सचेंज होतो. मग स्टोमॅटा काय आहे? तर स्टोमॅटा हा एक पेयर्ड गार्ड सेल्स असतात, बीन शेप्ड असतात. त्यांचा आउटर आणि इनर जो मेम्ब्रेन आहे त्याच्यामध्ये फरक आहे. आउटर मेम्ब्रेन आहे तो थिन आहे, इनर मेम्ब्रेन थिक आहे, आणि मध्यंतरी असलेली जी सेंट्रल स्लीट आहे तिथून हा गॅशियस एक्सचेंज होतो. दुसरं एक्झाम्पल आपण पाहिलं ते उडी फ्लावरिंग प्लांटच्या बार्कमध्ये, स्टेम ज्यावरती जी बार्क असते त्या बार्कमध्ये असलेले छोटे छोटे पोर्स, लेंटिकल्स. ह्या लेंटिकल्समधून ही जी हवा आहे किंवा जे गॅशियस एक्सचेंज आहे तो होत असतो. तर हे झालं प्लांट्सबद्दल. आता आपण पुढे जाणार आहोत ते स्पेसिफिकली gaseous exchange in animals. Gaseous exchange in animals or respiration in animals. Respiration in animals. राईट. आता एक लक्षात घ्या, ॲनिमल्समध्ये वाईड व्हरायटी असते, वाईड रेंज आहे वेगवेगळ्या रेस्पिरेटरी ऑर्गन्सची. आणि त्यासाठी म्हणून आपल्या टेक्स्टबुकमध्ये चार्ट एक पूर्ण दिलेला आहे. त्या चार्टवरून आपल्याला ते स्टडी करायचं आहे. तो चार्ट पूर्णपणे आपल्याला पाठच करून टाकायचा आहे की ज्याच्यामुळे आपल्याला MCQs, answer in one sentence हे बघायचं. आन्सर इन वन सेंटेन्स हे बघायचं. आता सांगण्याचा उद्देश असा की त्या चार्टमध्ये जवळजवळ 9 पॉईंट्स आहेत. हे 9 ॲनिमल्स आपण तिथे समराईज करणार आहोत. त्या 9 ॲनिमल्सच्या हॅबिटॅट, त्याची रेस्पिरेटरी ऑर्गन, ही जी लिस्ट आहे त्याच्यावरती जवळजवळ अनेक प्रकारे 1 मार्काचे 2 मार्कांचे प्रश्न हे बोर्ड एक्झामच्या दृष्टिकोनातूनही महत्त्वाचे आणि नीट CETसाठी पण महत्त्वाचे. तर आपण त्याला आता सुरुवात करत आहोत. 3 कॉलममध्ये दिलेलं आहे. द फर्स्ट कॉलम इज द नेम ऑफ ऑर्गॅनिझम. सेकंड कॉलम इज हॅबिटॅट and third column is respiratory organ. Right? Now you can actually learn this table directly from book. The first organism in our book taken was protists, sponges and cylindrids. Protists, sponges, cylindrids. You know very well protist means for example amoeba, sponges means for example cyclone, cylindrid for example hydra. All of these are invertebrates and they are having habitat aquatic. All of them they are living in the water. So mostly some of them, for example protists, they are unicellular. Amoeba, paramecium, and due to their such nature, unicellularity, they have plasma membrane. Each and every one, for example, even the sponges is multicellular and cylindrids are multicellular. They are made up of many cells. Each and every cell has plasma membrane. Through this plasma membrane, the respiratory exchange occurs. Second organism summarized in our book are flatworms Then annelids, amphibians. Flatworm means platyhelminthes, for example, planaria. Annelids, for example, earthworm. Amphibians, for example, tadpole larva. These are aquatic, semi-aquatic. Aquatic, semi-aquatic. Semi-aquatic. So ultimately, they are having respiratory organ, plasma membrane, and specifically in some cases, some cases they have moist body surface. Moist body surface, for example, skin. For example, tadpole larva of frog. The third organism taken is insects. Right? And you know very well, all these are terrestrial. Almost all insects are terrestrial and they have tracheal system. Tracheal and spiracle system. So what is tracheal system? For example, this is a tube-like tracheae having external opening. It is provided with such rings of specific region, and through this tracheae, the air or gaseous exchange occur and enters inside in the body. So these are the first three examples of respiratory organs in animals. First, protist, sponges, coelenterate having habitat aquatic, possess plasma membrane as a respiratory organ. Seconds are flatworms, for example, platyhelminthes having example planaria, annelids, for example, having earthworm, amphibians, example having tadpole larva. They are having aquatic and semi-aquatic habitat, and their respiratory organ is plasma membrane or moist body surface, for example, skin. Third is insects. They are almost all they are terrestrial in habitat and they are having tracheal system or spiracles for respiratory exchange. Now we go to the next one. The next one is arachnids. Arachnids, for example, spiders and scorpions, these are terrestrial in habit. These are terrestrial in habit and they are having book lungs. What is meant by book lung? The lungs are present in the form of like book, pages of book. The structure of this lungs is just like a pages of book. That's why it is known as book lung. Then next example, next organism is arthropods. In arthropods, specifically limulus, which is aquatic, both these arachnids and limulus is arthropod. Here example is limulus. It is aquatic in habitat. It possesses book gills. Now here in Limulus, aquatic habitat, as it has aquatic habitat, the respiratory organ is gills, but these gills are having book pages like shape. That's why it is known as book gills. The difference between book lungs and book gill is these are lungs useful in aerial respiration. These are respiratory organs useful for aquatic respiration. But the shape is same. That means just like a book pages. That's why these are known as book lungs and book gills. Then next is amphibians. For example, frog, as well as another aquatic examples of amphibians like salamander, newts, etc. They have external gills. External gills. Now about the gills you know very well. The gills are respiratory organs specifically for respiration in water. Then fish, again aquatic, but they have internal gills. Then reptiles, birds and mammals. Reptiles, birds and mammals, these are terrestrial. They are exclusively having lungs for respiration. And the last example is turtles. Actually, these turtles underwater, when they remain underwater, they respire with cloaca. Right? Now, what is cloaca? Now, before going to cloaca, we'll go back. The amphibians having aquatic habitat, having respiratory organ, external gills. Fish, again aquatic, but having internal gills. Reptiles, birds and mammals, the major classes of our classification. They are terrestrial exclusively, most of them. They are having lungs for respiration. And the last example is turtle. Actually, turtle go in water, can live on land, that means terrestrial. But when it go in water, it respire with cloaca. The cloaca is common chamber for respiration. Cloaca is common chamber for excretory system and for reproductive system. In that common chamber, actually gaseous exchange occur when turtle undergo water. Right? So here we complete all the 9 types of organisms living in different habitats, and they are accordingly the environment or nature, they are provided with specific respiratory organs. So we'll revise again in short. The gaseous exchange or respiratory organs in animals. Most of the unicellular living organisms, they respire through plasma membrane. Most of animals, they are having body surface, moist skin body surface for their respiration. Some of them they are having tracheal and spiracle for respiration. Some of them with different examples, book lungs, book gills, external gills and internal gills, lungs, and just I have explained the cloaca. So remember all these different respiratory organs for different specific organisms because they are adapted for that peculiar habitat, right? So in that way, here we complete the first our subunit 8.1, under which we have studied the gaseous exchange in how occurs in plants as well as in animals, right? आता थोडंसं मराठीमध्ये आपण लास्टमध्ये जे पाहिलं ते ॲनिमल्समध्ये पाहिलं. ॲनिमल्समध्ये पुस्तकात डिरेक्टली एक टेबल दिलेला आहे आणि तो टेबल तुम्ही पूर्ण स्टडी करायचा आहे, लर्न करायचा आहे, तो पाठच करायचा आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये ऑर्गॅनिझम, हॅबिटॅट आणि रेस्पिरेटरी ऑर्गन अशा 3 कॉलम्स दिलेले आहेत. प्रत्येक कॉलम मी तुम्हाला एक्सप्लेन केलेला आहे, फार काही अवघड नाही आहे. ॲनिमल्सची नावं दिलेली आहेत की जी आपण मागच्या वर्षी नॉन कॉर्डेट ॲनिमल किंगडममध्ये किंवा ॲनिमल किंगडममध्ये त्यांची नावं आपण पाहिलेली आहेत, शिकलेलो आहोत आपण त्यांच्याबद्दल. त्यांचे कोणकोणते रेस्पिरेटरी ऑर्गन्स आहेत ती लिस्ट आता आपल्या ध्यानात ठेवायची, लक्षात ठेवायची. तर ती अशी की बेसिकली तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे की प्लाझ्मा मेम्ब्रेन, moist skin surface, tracheal system, spiracles, book gills, book lungs, external gills, internal gills, lungs किंवा cloaca हे वेगळे पार्ट्स आहेत. ते तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवायचे आहे, बरोबर. आणि ते चांगले लक्षात ठेवून त्यांचा उपयोग मी मागेच मध्यंतरी मी तुम्हाला आठवण करून दिली की याच्यावरती 1 मार्क 2 मार्काचे प्रश्न सेट होऊ शकतात. MCQs असेल, आन्सर इन 1 सेंटेन्स असेल किंवा डिरेक्टली अखंड जर विचारलं तर 2 मार्कासाठी विचारलं जाऊ शकतं आणि बोर्ड परीक्षेच्या दृष्टिकोनातून तुम्हाला ते करायचं. तर आज आपण हे पहिलं युनिट पूर्ण केलं आणि उद्या आपण ह्युमन रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टीम, नेक्स्ट व्हिडिओमध्ये आपण ह्युमन रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टीम घेणार आहोत. ती थोडी तुम्ही लर्न करा म्हणजे तुम्हाला ती शिकवताना सोपी वाटते. थँक्यू. खूप मोठा झाला.